picture this, you're extremely motivated and working on your game. But after a long period of time, you lose your motivation and end up not working on your game for 12 months straight. What happened? Well, that's what happened to my game, and I'll tell you how you can prevent that so it doesn't happen to your game. The first thing you need to keep in mind is that you always have to give yourself deadlines, because if you don't give yourself deadlines, you will stop working on your game eventually. And plus, having deadlines really just forces you to finish the game within a reasonable period of time. Another big part is actually working on your game every single day. Now, that doesn't mean making massive changes and making massive progress on your game. It can be just as little as adding a new UI button or adding a new feature like a brightness setting. The point of this is to keep you working every day, because you're building discipline when you're doing this. And discipline stays through thick and thin, while motivation comes and goes. And if you solely rely on motivation, well, your game is destined to fail. And another big part is focusing on creating the base game. Don't start adding little knickknacks here and there to make the game more exciting. Focus on the core gameplay and make sure that that is first finished before you start adding anything else. Because if you start adding more and more little details and knickknacks, the game will never actually be finished and you'll just be stuck in a limbo where you're just adding more and more content. A prime example is to focus on creating your demo first, like I did. That is the core gameplay. And since we're talking about demos, feel free to check out my game, Season Lockdown, a game inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's and Observation on Duty. Another big part is knowing when to cut content, because for example, if you're working on your game and you've just added way too much ideas and content to your game, to the point where you just can't finish it, I'd recommend you to look at which parts are the least interesting and the least fun portions, and remove those parts. While you're here, you also might be interested in this video, about 20 tips for all game devs. Also, if you want to support me, like, comment and subscribe to feed the algorithm. And my Gunters, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!